From Horizon High School, we have Operation Elevate with Audrey Harold, Carly Thomas, Kennedy Lancaster, and Sydney Zadrozny.
All right, hello everyone. We'll go ahead and introduce ourselves and then we'll get started with the video. So I'm Audrey Harold and I was our group's mentor liaison.
I'm Sydney Zadrozny and I was the team lead.
I'm Kennedy Lancaster and I was our team's event coordinator.
I'm Carly Thomas and I was the group's videographer.
And here's our video. Hey Abby. Hi. So we're just going to ask you today a few questions about mental health. First, how comfortable are you in discussing mental health related issues in a school environment?
Probably not extremely comfortable.
Honestly, no, I wouldn't be comfortable all telling people about it just because nobody else talks about it.
And I see my friends struggling, but I don't really know who to go to, so it's easy to put it off.
It goes along with what you guys have always talked about, is the stigma. Okay, what if I'm afraid of what's going to be answered?
From these observations, Operation Elevate was born. We jumped right in, advocating for the students who we wanted to help by testifying for a youth suicide prevention bill. HB 18-1177 would provide vital funding for the dispersion and advertisement of mental health resources across Colorado schools.
If 1177 was passed, she would be able to get that help. Bring some of our own personal experiences to the table.
It's a sign that, people at this age do need help.
The next step was a little more personal. We wanted to give students an opportunity to start the mental health conversation where they were most comfortable with their peers.
We're going to have you guys just talk for a little bit about mental health in high school, the way that you experienced it.
Well, going off of what Bella said, I agree. For me, I have a really good connection with my parents. I tell them
My friend tells you, I have it.
After talking about it in class with the people I'm comfortable with, I realized that it's okay to talk about mental health.
Further attempts to start the conversation involved our entire community. We brought in parents of students from our high school, surrounding high schools, and even a few middle schools. Upwards of 40 community members were in attendance, as well as 10 live stream viewers, 5 from different states and 3 from different countries. Every audience member had the chance to interact one-on-one with our panel of professionals after watching presentations on mental health education, diagnosis, treatment, and stigma. Finally, we reflected on our experiences and decided that there was one last crucial step to ensure our project's long-lived impact. Operation Elevate successfully proposed our plan for teacher information sessions to the Adams 12 School Board. Prior to the 2018-19 school year, all Adams 12 teachers will attend a comprehensive information session on teens and mental health. All right, so once again, I'm Audrey.
I'm Sydney.
I'm Kennedy.
And I'm Carly.
And at one point, all of us were silent.
We didn't feel comfortable talking about mental health.
We didn't feel comfortable expressing our vulnerability in front of others.
We couldn't always speak about it, and we thought no one was listening.
Sophomore year, I was diagnosed with anorexia, and I experienced firsthand that stigma that makes talking about mental health so difficult. But during our project, we were lucky enough to get to know a girl who we watched transition from someone who was afraid to even say the names of her mental illnesses out loud into someone who would talk openly about her ADHD and her anxiety in conversations in one of our seminars. And for me, it was kind of inspiring. And I think something all of us experienced was that helping them helped us.
At the end of my sophomore year, I started developing signs and symptoms of depression and anxiety. And I knew I wanted to speak about it. Sometimes I even wanted to scream about it. But I felt like all I could do was whisper about it. Through our project, we had implemented a hashtag #StartTheConversation, where we implemented parent information sessions as well as teacher information sessions, which we will carry out through next year. The 4 of us will actually be giving presentations to administration in our district, Adams 12, so that parents, teachers, and kids are more comfortable talking about their mental health struggles.
When I was younger, and still now as a teenager, I have struggled with anxiety and depression, and some of my most difficult moments have stemmed from feelings of invalidation. That's why one of my personal favorite aspects of our project was the sticky notes, which you have some of those in front of you. In every event that we participated in, the parent night, the seminars, and even our interviews, we had all of our participants write down a word or phrase that they associated with positive mental health. And what we saw and experienced from this was an overwhelming sense of solidarity. When a kid looked at a sticky note and saw that somebody else put running or feeling creative or being consistently happy, they knew that they were not alone.
This big idea project for me was a personal journey because I have generalized anxiety disorder, and especially in the beginning of the project, I had difficulty talking about it with anybody, really. And throughout this project, I learned that there were people who cared about it, were concerned about this mental health issue and concerns, and I began to open up and talk about it, and I'm talking about it in front of 100 people, so.
We feel like we've created a safer environment for the discussion of mental health.
We've helped others feel comfortable expressing their vulnerability.
Our peers are talking, and now they know someone is listening.
Once again, we are Operation Elevate, and we thank you for your time.
So, first of all, thank you for your bravery in embracing this topic. So, you worked with the legislature. Tell me how working with our political system impacted you.
Okay, so I guess the most obvious thing was that I learned how our House of Representatives worked in part because I am interested in politics and current events, but I suppose I didn't learn its inner working. So being able to attend and even speak at the House of Representatives, how do I say this? It felt really gratifying and eye-opening to how government works.
And also, it was very interesting to see, we were one of very few kids that were there, and it was for a youth suicide prevention bill. It was affecting youth, and most of the people that were talking and were testifying for the bill, they were adults. And so it was really amazing to be able to speak on something that we knew would actually affect not just us, but all children under the age of 18 in Colorado.
It was also interesting to see that because we shared our experiences with mental health to these committee members, that no matter what side the bill they were necessarily on, they all had personally thanked us for stepping forward for our bravery and just our advocacy of the idea of mental health.
I'm interested in, as you were presenting to the legislature and then the adults, if there were difficulties that you faced either from credibility or talking about these subjects. Obviously you had your personal experiences, but I'm just wondering if you faced obstacles as you had those conversations and then how you responded to them.
So absolutely. One of our biggest challenges in that respect was actually in our community forum. So we went to our school, we talked to our counselors and other community members, and we asked them to all come, serve as panel members if they were willing, for community members to come and hear them speak on the issues. And one of the first things our principal said when we presented to her was, well, like, can you do that? You know, our counselors, they were kind of like, are you qualified? Why can you speak on this? So we had to be very careful that we were raising awareness and we were involving our peers and we were being the mouthpiece for, you know, everybody who we know, but that leaving the medical part of it to the medical professionals. So that was kind of a fine line we had to walk.
One word, what's the impact on you moving forward into life?
Personally, I think I've become braver.
Stronger.
Kinder.
Yeah, braver too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.